We got to wait till the timer shows up. There it is. All right. Welcome back to another Hunt, Lift, Eat podcast. The Hunt, Lift, Eat official on Instagram and the Hunt, Lift, Eat podcast also on Instagram. I am here with Bubba, Dan. We are co-hosting together. We do not have adult supervision, so this might not go well. But Dan, how's it going, dude?
Dude, I'm good, man. It's Hero Week right now for HLE. We're killing it with the workouts here at HQ, and some of them are burners, man. I'm a little winded right now, jumping on this pod, finishing up this last workout today. So
dude, that's the thing about Hero Week, man. There's no rhyme and reason to it. It's just hard to be hard, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And then you think, oh, I'm not going to do this one today, and then you read the backstory on whoever the hero is that we're paying homage to, and I'm like, yeah, you let a helicopter go away in the middle of a gunfight to save your guys and not yourself. I think I can run in the rain.
Yeah, absolutely. But, dude, we've got a really cool podcast tonight, man. We've got Todd and Ryan. They're both from VPA Archery. What's going on, guys?
Not much. Thanks for having us. I did not get my workout. I did eat, and I did shoot my bro today, so that's positive. But I did not do my workout, Dan, so I'm feeling a little behind.
Yeah, you still got time, right?
Yeah. With the gym being in the shop in front of me all day long, it's I don't have any excuse to skip it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm married to smoking hottie, so I've got to be in the gym every day, no matter what, you know.
Nothing more motivating than that right there.
Yeah. You look at her and you're like, fuck, I'm too fat. I got to go hit the gym.
Yeah, no, I'm stoked to have you guys back on the podcast. It's been a while, and you guys have been killing it. Like from what I'm seeing on the socials and everything, been following you guys real closely, and I'm stoked to have you guys back on. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're excited to chat.
Yeah, man. Well, why don't you guys tell us a little about yourselves, man, and a little bit about VPA.
Sure, I'll start. I'll let Todd talk the hunting and the lifting. I'll talk more on the VPA. How about we go there? Maybe like we can work back and forth. I am the sales manager at VPA. Jeff Stringer and I and my brother-in-law bought the company back in 2017. Love the outdoor space. I came more from the fishing side. Worked with Stringer on some other projects here around in Indiana. We saw these broadheads being made in a small little part of a shop and thought that's super cool. So since then, it's been hunting, fishing, just getting into life. I've told Todd this and some other people this. And 17 was the first time I ever picked up a bow. Like I was drinking from a fire hose. Like, and it's been that, like drinking from a fire hose since then, whether it's on the phone with guys talking FOC or aero builds or whatever they want to talk about. Like I just keep learning, setting up peeps. Like it's so much fun. So I'm on the sales side, answer the phones, talk to guys, travel all the time. I get to meet cool people like Todd Dalton, and I get to enjoy like good food and podcasts, and also just hanging out and having great conversation. Like that builds us up, right? Like, and I love that.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm not far behind you, man. I picked up a bow about 2 years after you, so I'm right there with you. Still feel like I'm drinking through a fire hose.
Yes, sir. I do. Yes, sir.
What part of Indiana are you guys in?
I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Todd's down by Marion, Muncie.
Yeah,
Ball
I'm
State.
in Marion.
We can't say Ball State, can we, Todd? We can't say that. No.
No, not at all.
No.
Right on. Yeah, and I was asking, man, because I'm just across the border in Kentucky from Indiana. In fact, a lot of the places I was hunting, I can actually see Indiana over the river. So that's awesome.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Todd, what's up, man?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me on. I'm a part of the fun side of VPA. Ryan's got like quotas and things he has to sell. I just get to kill stuff and record it and all that. And so I met Jeff a few years ago. I've been shooting VPA for 3 years now, and I'm 3 for 3. So they have been a very good luck broadhead for me. I got 140 or betters in a row with my compound, and
Nice.
It's just been the transition for me from mechanical. I was the classic lazy. I would say lazy bow hunter. What can I screw on the end of my arrow that I don't have to tune? I don't have to do all this stuff. And then never really shot a fixed blade until I met, Jeff and Ryan. And then I screwed on the Omega for the first time. And man, it was super easy. I thought it was going to be a nightmare, tune it and get it to shoot straight. And my first buck I killed was a split brow 12 point at 47 yards, and it went through both shoulders so fast that I thought I missed the deer. It's all on camera. I look at my youngest son and I'm like, I missed. And he was like, I think I heard it hit. And I'm like, there's no way. And then that deer didn't go 45 yards, and it was just thick. It was early, I think October 11th, something like that. And it was, so I get the fun side of VPA. I mean, it's I don't have to do any sales. I get to show up and hang out with Ryan and Jeff and people. When you hang out with Ryan and Jeff, people are always like, man, I should know this guy. And I'm like, bro, I'm not important enough to remember. Don't worry about all that stuff. But it's a lot of fun. Right? They're always like, you're the man. I'm like, I couldn't be the man in a girls' school, but it's fun. It's been a wild ride. So my connection to VPA is strictly field staff. I get to throw arrows downfield at critters, and it's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome, man. You got Dan.
Yeah, I was just kind of laughing when you said, people kind of tend to gather around these guys, and it's like you need to know these guys. That's the way it was when we got connected at I think it was SHOT Show last year. Everything was popping. I was like, broadheads. This, at SHOT Show, archery is my thing, right? I love hunting in all aspects, but bow hunting specifically is kind of my passion. I was like, broadheads at a gun show, I'm in. Let's go talk to these guys. And then I was like, oh, you guys are getting something together here, and it's working good. You guys won some awards last year too there. You did this year as well, right?
On the armory side, yeah, I think. I don't know. We'd have to ask Alex on that. I don't really follow the awards and stuff. I just want to like. It's not that I want to sell stuff. It's just that I want to have. And Todd and I. That's how Todd and I connected. Like just on that deep connection. And even you, Dan. Like we probably talked 2 or 3 times during that show.
Yeah.
Like just on that connection side, and like hunting's not only like hunting and getting out in the woods, but it's also like it's spiritual for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's part of that side where it's just spiritual and it's good to, like, it just fills my soul. So yeah, it's super cool for me. I think that's how we connected. So it's great. Like I don't know what awards we won. I guess that's what I'm getting at. Like it's okay. Like if we can connect with another guy and he can have a successful hunt and he can drop something, and or if a guy's putting on a compensator on a gun, he can feel more protected and be on, as far as with mitigation, and be more like calm and collected when he's shooting a target, or like, let's face it, if he has to take a life, like I want him to have that, feel more confident, right? That he knows his product's going to stand up and hold up, and we're doing what we say.
That's awesome, man. That's something I actually wanted to get to at some point in this.
We can. Sorry, I jumped the line there. My bad.
No, yeah. So
my notes, my bad, Kerri. I didn't read the notes.
No, I did want to talk about your guys' compensator, man. But I mean, I want to talk archery first, then I want to circle back to guns, because I'm a gun guy, but I like archery better, But yeah, dude, I love that, man. I missed SHOT Show that year that you guys got linked up. I think I was on a boat in the Caribbeans.
Terrible spot to be.
Dude, it's not my thing. Not my thing at all. On a boat trapped with a bunch of drunken debauchery, and it's hot and humid. I'm like, this sucks. All my buddies are at SHOT Show, and I'm out here on a boat. I can't even fish.
That's awesome. So kind of tell us a little bit, Ryan, like since last time we talked, what have you guys been up to? What have you been working on?
So I didn't get any of those last year because we were still in development, though. Omegas with bleeders.
I remember we talked about them.
Yep. They launched their. We've got that down to 125 grains, which is super cool. It's what I am going to shoot this year. I'm going a little bit lighter, a little bit more speed. I don't know. I like to tinker, right? So it's always something. What can I tinker with this year? I think that's going to be my arrow build, probably in that. I want to say 475. Nice. Maybe 4. It depends, right? We'll see what happens. Just to get a little bit more speed. So the Omega, the bleeders are new this year. 125, 150, and 200. the cool thing about those is once you take out that bleeder, it becomes a 175, 125, and 100. So that bleeder itself is 25 grains. It's just super cool. Sorry, I didn't bring anything home with me to show you guys. I always make that mistake when it's a late night podcast or later for us out east here. I didn't bring any show and tell stuff. So you can check them out on the website. The other thing that I'm really excited about, I saw the first one the first official print that hopefully Todd will have within the next couple of weeks as far as on our R&D with our new head. It's gonna be called the Ascender. What it is, and I'll explain it, and you guys don't. Hopefully, if you don't understand it, let me know. It's gonna go over the shaft, so it's a broadhead that is gonna work where it goes over your shaft and protects it. And we're making it for right now a 350 for a crossbow bolt, because we want to get in that market more. That way, people can go down long range with high FPS and actually have a solid one-piece head. But also on a 5 mil and a 204. So we're coming out, and those are going to be super. I'm excited for them for the single fact that nobody else is doing it, and let's face it, they're pretty. I keep saying I gotta stop that. Somebody correct me or raise your hand if I say that again, or smack me. The side of just
that's your inner white girl coming out.
Oh, cool. Dang it, Todd. So cool. It's so anyways, the side on the Ascender is gonna be revolutionary in my opinion. The way it's designed, the way it's gonna hook into your insert, you're not gonna have to change anything with your insert. It's super cool, and I'm excited to send it down range and do some testing with it and see how actually they do fly.
That sounds interesting, man. I'm using just like you. I use a half out right now as kind of almost like a protector for my the carbon shaft. So I'm guessing that would replace the need to have a half out or something like that, because I'm guessing it won't work with most half outs anyways.
It will not. No, it'll go over the shaft. So you use a standard what are those, Todd? What are those inserts, 8, 10, 12 grain inserts, whatever you have? Aluminum, steel.
Yeah.
If you're going steel, it'll be a little bit more heavier. But then that broadhead will go over the shaft and over your insert and connect right to the broadhead. It's going to be different. It's definitely going to be different.
It sounds medieval,
hopefully
man.
we don't have to be training up the guys, right? That's the one thing I worry about when we introduce something new like that, is what the learning curve is, and then can they really understand it when they're opening up a package.
Yeah, it makes sense. You're going to get that reinforcement. It's going to be able to help guys that are maybe struggling with an FOC issue where they don't have a long draw, so they're having an issue there, or vice versa, and being able to put a little bit of extra up front. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm interested to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
it was
oh, go ahead, Todd.
the ATA show in Indianapolis. No, you're good. The ATA show in Indianapolis, it was definitely the show stopper. I mean, it of all the broadheads on the table, there were more guys grabbing the crossbow broadhead than any others. And of course they're looking at me like, hey, explain this. And I'm like, you screw it on the end of your arrow and you shoot a deer with it. I'm like, Jeff, get over here and explain this. Alex, where are you at? But from a hunting standpoint, my dad and brother are terrible archery hunters with compound bow. I was super stoked that EPA. I was just sick of tracking their deer. I actually encourage them. Nothing against crossbows. I'm not anti-crossbow. Do what you got to do to be able to stay in the woods and hunt. But my dad and brother are terrible. When it comes to compound, if I have to track one more gutted deer, I'm going to kill you guys. And so I'm like, you guys both graduate to crossbow. And so the fact that that VPA came out with, a head to go on a bolt is, I think it's exciting for a lot of guys, like us that are just, you want a really good quality broadhead that, is going to, bone penetrating, bone crushing. And so it was the hot topic at the ATA in Indy for sure.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing it come out. Sounds awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
I gotta say something there, Todd. I think that crossbows have a place. I think they have. I think there are. I think. Am I anti-crossbow? No, but do I feel like crossbows have a place? Yes, I think they do, and I think that I want to check a kid's man card when he's 19. He can't pull back a vertical bow. I'm just gonna say that, Todd. Like I want to check it. Like I want to check that card and make sure that like he's okay. Like let's
Yeah.
let's get real
Yeah.
here. I think there should be some guys. I think there should be some limitations on crossbow. If you can't hit a deer, okay, but come on, man, get out of vertical bow.
Get it out and practice.
Well,
Yeah, dude,
you can't.
I could go on a while about crossbows, man. We sell, so I'm a shop shooter at Kentucky Gun Co. In Bardstown, just across the river from you guys. And dude, so many guys come in there with buying crossbows, and you're talking like 19, 20, military age males, right? Like dudes who should be just fine to be able to pull back a bow. And they're getting crossbows, and I'm just like, dude. So I've got torn labrums, torn rotator cuff. I've got my shoulders are just a wreck, right? I shoot a compound bow every day. You know why? Because I'm a man. You know? But again, if you shoot a crossbow out there, I'm not saying you're not a man, but you should probably try picking up a compound bow and getting stronger.
Yeah, get the reps behind a bow, and I don't know. I think there's so much reward. Like even if you're not going to hunt, right? Like just shooting a bow, a compound bow, or a trad bow, whatever. Like and just the kind of zen you can get just flinging arrows at a piece of foam, right? Like seeing that trajectory, that arrow fly, knowing everything you did in your shot process and your equipment is dialed, and just sending that thing down range and it hitting where you want to hit. It's so rewarding.
Yeah, and we talked about it before, man. Like it's a perfect way instead of going home and cracking open a couple of beers and walk in the backyard and unwind that way. You know, it's like yoga or meditation for people who don't want to do yoga or meditate, you know?
Or drink beers.
Or drink beer. Or drink beer while you shoot. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, dude. Highly encourage everybody to go pick up a compound bow and shoot that over a crossbow. And if you still can't do it and you want to go hunt and you want to extend your season, go and grab a crossbow, I guess.
Or a muzzle loader.
Well, you can't be on a podcast. You can't be on a podcast that talks about lifting and then a bunch of guys that, are incapable of pulling back 65 to 70 pound compound bow. That's when you're like, you know what, put the bow down. And I'm really glad that I didn't have to assume your gender, that you called yourself a male. So I appreciate that. Brings a lot of clarity to the podcast. I agree. I think that we have so many, unfortunately, I think it is some of the younger generation, whether it's just their dad isn't, there or not teaching them properly, but it's how can I kill something the simplest, easiest way with minimal effort? And I get it. If you're working 60 hours a week, there are dudes that are putting in hours, in a factory. I'm like, that's where I'm a little more on the, if you only get to hunt on a Saturday, bro, you get one day a week. You don't get the, the luxury of going out midweek, something. I'm a little more like, hey, whatever you got to do to even, it's kind of like Indiana. We're not a bait state. Like we have no corn piles. We can't do anything. We can plant food plots. But for me, I'm sitting there going, dude, if you're a 60-hour work week guy, I look at you and say, do what you got to do to get it done, bro. You know what I mean? Just get out there and get in the woods. But some of these dudes that are taking, and with the Ravens and the 10 points, 100 yards, like 100. I want to hear the acorns crunching in the deer's mouth when my arrow goes through. It's the concept of shooting a deer at 100 yards to me is, I think that's the appeal of the crossbow is they want to, I shot a deer at 85 yards with my crossbow. And I'm like, congratulations. That's the far. I've never killed a deer that far with a gun, let alone, a bow. And so, yeah, I think people take the easy way out. And I think it's unfortunate. I think we should respect the game more. But yeah, I'm not anti-crossbow. My dad does it because he's older than dirt. And then my brother literally does it because he sucks at shooting a bow, and he practices. I promise, guys, he practices, and it was the only reason he's a crossbow hunter is because I made him go to crossbow. I'm like, I'm so done with you. One quick story, dude. We were bow hunting, and he's like, "Hey, I just smoked a doe," and I'm like, "Okay." He's, the tree huggers are going to hate me for this story. This doe comes trotting by with an arrow sticking up out of her back hip, like where you would have aimed, like on a perfect shot. And I called him on the cell phone. I said, "I thought you said you smoked her." He's like, "Bro, right over the shoulder, just smoked her." And I'm like, and I don't know if I can say this on a podcast. I'm like, you're retarded, dude. You didn't smoke that doe." Took a picture, and so that was literally his last compound bow hunt. I was like, "You're done. You're done. It's over. Going to a crossbow." So
Yeah.
it has its place for people like my brother.
Yeah, hunt your own hunt, hike your own hike, that kind of stuff. I'm all for it. Getting dudes in the woods, connected with nature and all that. But I mean, if you're going to a certain style of hunting out of laziness, then I have a problem. You know what I mean? Like that's Stu, you're getting on the woods and I'm happy for you, but like, come on, man. Like part of the pursuit or the chase or like the appeal of hunting as a whole is training, practicing, getting out, working on your woodsmanship, working on your marksmanship, all those things. But there are guys that they need it, right? You talked about the 60-hour work week guy. If there's guys who have shoulder issues, or they're just not strong enough, man, like here's a plug for HLE, dude. We sell lifting programs. Like I can help you get strong, like we'll make it where you can pull back that compound bow, but yeah, dude, I'm with you, man. But we need to get your brother on the range, man. Get him out with like Joel Turner or something, man. Maybe fix him.
That's awesome.
He needs a healing service. He needs something.
Yeah.
You guys got any big hunts planned for this year?
No. And I think that's for the first season for me in the last like 3 or 4 where I'm not going. I say that, and I'd like to stay around home this year. I've been tracking this one. He's nice. He's right behind my shop, and it's been 3 years, and I see him on camera, and I always people drive by our shop like, "Hey, he's out in the front field. You need to go back in the woods." And I'm like, this is like right by the airport in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I want to spend more time on him this year, and I can get him like on an urban, so I can Todd, I can start September. So I've got plenty of time to get this dude. Like I've got plenty of time. I just need to make it happen this year. So I want to stick around home. I do have one of my buddies that I met. He's in Tennessee. He'd like me to come down. I don't know if I'll make that work or not. I've never hunted Tennessee. He said he's got a couple like 200 plus. And I'm like, you got 200 plus in Tennessee? So we'll see. Like if that's on the table, like I'd like to come down to Tennessee for a little bit. It's always nice down there. So yeah, maybe I'll travel, maybe I won't, but that's our busiest time of the year too. It really is. Like hunting season from about August to December, it seems like we're just packed. We were packed, taking calls, talking to guys, not traveling, but just like, yeah, it's busy weeks for us.
It's kind of one of the woes of getting into the hunting industry. You get in the hunting industry because you love hunting, and then you end up working instead of hunting.
Yeah, especially on the sales side of things too, because Lord knows nobody prepares ahead of time and gets their shit together before hunting season. It's always, I need it now. What do I need?
Yeah.
Yep. Which is okay. That's why we're there. But also on that side of, I'm not afraid to go in on a Saturday, right? And I can pack stuff up and bring it to the post office. That way it's getting there one day early. It's easy for us to do that, which we like. That's part of being American made and being able to talk to guys every day. And I love that. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. What you got, Todd? You got any big hunts coming up?
Nothing major. I'm still waiting on that Jeff Stringer promised elk hunt he's going to take me on, and September. We'll see if that happens. And then Ryan promised me a velvet hunt in Kentucky. We'll see if that happens. But no, I spend a lot of time at home, and we through VPA with their sponsorship, we actually last year launched a YouTube channel called Christ and Camo Outdoors. I'm a pastor as well. And so we started recording. So we have first season out this last season, season 2 coming up. We successfully filmed 5, big buck kills. Myself, I self-filmed mine. We got my daughter-in-law, her first kill. My dad, my and both my boys, my youngest son shooting. I think his deer is going to be right at, 150, 160. And so we just do a lot of family filming. And I'll be honest with you, new to the filming aspect of it. It's amazing how much it adds. A, the excitement, but then B, just the preparation. I mean, so much more stuff to the tree, so much more time. And I've really enjoyed being a cameraman. And last year, I shot my buck on my first day. I will not do that again this year because I was cameraman the whole freaking year, dude. And it was fun. But at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, this is a little much. And then I ended up killing the smallest of all the deer because the quality got better. I shot like a 148 point, and self-filmed the whole thing. But so launching that and doing the filming, it's been a little harder to, do the traveling. Now, we did do a turkey tour. We turkey hunted in, I think, 4 different states. We did that again this year. Very, very tough. States like Tennessee, they've moved their season so far back that it's like deer hunting turkeys. Like they just don't do what they're supposed to do. So that's been a challenge. But as far as deer, no elk hunt. I've only elk hunted one time. I'm a whitetail guy. That's my thing. I'm not anti the other stuff. I just haven't had the real opportunity to go yet. So looking forward to it. So it'll be good. So we're whitetailing it this year.
Yeah. I'm a whitetail guy just because of location. But yeah, one of these days I still have not gone out west for elk or mule deer or antelope or anything like that. I go to Alaska where we do moose and bear, but I'm hiding on that one, so I'm not pulling the trigger. But one of these days, I'm like you, man. I want to get out and shoot those, but I'm still happy with the big whitetail or smallish whitetails. I'm still good with. Yeah.
Trophies in your heart. Trophies, whatever's in your heart, brother.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm total opposite of you guys. Growing up out west, I'm in Wyoming now. I'm from Colorado, and eastern side of the state had whitetail, but it was all private land that unless you were going to spend $15,000 on a lease somewhere, you're not going to be able to hunt any of that stuff. So seen whitetail on the road. And then last year went back to Virginia with Luke, the guy that owns HLE. Crew of us went to his family farm in Virginia, and I didn't kill anything. But I was like just blown away at the numbers out there. It was pretty crazy to see, and like getting to watch, sit in the stand there in the blind and get to kind of watch their movement and start learning their patterns and everything during that week. It was super cool. I really liked the mental aspect that whitetail hunting brings to it versus me just traipsing through the woods, ripping bugles, trying to hope something calls back, and then it's not another hunter somewhere.
Yeah, it's definitely a different game, man. It's a big mental challenge when you're trying to chase these animals, especially if you're on a public land or you're trying to be more mobile because you don't, like Luke's got private land where he's got stuff set up and everything, man. But once you're trying to go out there and figure out a piece of land, especially a public land, dude, that's the size of deer I kill. But it's super exciting and a lot of fun, because it has a whole new challenge to it, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I want to do it more. That's for sure. It's on my roadmap to do it more this year. I plan to do it this year, and then come to find out my wife and I are expecting a baby during prime whitetail hunting season. So I won't be going out east hunting whitetail this year.
It's worth it, my man. It's worth it.
Oh, yeah,
you didn't do the math, bro.
I did, but I'm a Western guy, man. I'm done running around with a bow end of September, so it's early out here for us.
I feel you.
We're getting ready to hunt some spring bears here in a couple weeks and start scouting some high country muleys and elk and all that fun stuff out here. I'm going to miss antelope season this year, so I'm bummed about that. I still haven't killed a speed goat with my bow. That's kind of one of my big wants. I've tried and I've shot at a few, but I've never killed one.
Can you get muley tags over the counter out there in Wyoming?
Kind of, sort of. As a resident, you can get a general tag. And then there's some very low point, 0 to 1 point draws for residents and non-residents. Elk is the same way. I can get a general tag for elk and hunt certain units over the counter, and then some of them are draw. Bears are all over the counter as well for spring, at least in Wyoming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Todd, you want to pack up and go kill a bear next week, maybe?
Yeah, we were supposed to go this week,
I'm in.
We can hunt bait sites out here in Wyoming for bears, but as of right now, our bait sites are getting hit at 1 a.m, so not prime hunting times. So we're gonna wait a little bit and see if they start moving in the daytime.
You can get a feeder with a timer, like the whitetail guys use in Texas.
Do they make feeders that throw donuts and frosting on the ground?
I don't know.
Because that's what the bears like.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like you have an invention to make.
Just think about that.
The donut slinger.
Slinging donuts, right? It's got a trap shooter, right? You could do that. You can set it on a timer.
Yeah.
Like like I just do that. Trap shooter.
Yeah.
We got this.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's
It's all
awesome.
fun and games till you show up with a 300-pound white guy in his whitey tighties eating donuts underneath your bear stand. You're slinging donuts everywhere.
Luckily, we're the bait
Track
sites.
the wrong animal.
Dudes getting in there very easily, so I should be safe. Oh, that's cool. What's kind of coming down the pipe for you guys? You guys hitting the road still for show season stuff, or you guys pretty wrapped up with that?
No, like I might hit the tack down by you, Kerri.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try, and that's at the farm, right?
I don't know. I just know it's New Albany.
Yeah, I think it's at the farm down by you. Yeah, I think that's gonna be my only like show that I want to do this year is the Indiana tack. Just because last year when I said like we hit every tack, like we were at every tack event, and it was a lot. I enjoy going to tack events. It's just it's a lot. So we've really backed off. We had our main ones at the beginning of the year, like SHOT Show, ATA, Dallas Safari. Those are always good. NRA. But really I want to focus more on the R&D and design side, the side in the shop. So we're really focused on that. Jeff will probably go out west a little bit this fall, hopefully. I put out for Utah for my first draw. I thought maybe I was going to get that lucky one the first time, when I was out at the Western Hunt Expo. That's another show. If you guys are out west, that's a good one to go to. I didn't get drawn. So hopefully somebody does. Got some points where I can go out, and I want to be there, Dan, for that like haul, like on a bull and see that and be up close. I've never done that, and it's something that like looks cool, and I want to be part of that. Even if I don't get to pull the trigger.
I think it's like every bow hunter's like wet dream is to shoot a screaming bull,
It's an adrenaline rush. That is for damn sure. And you might think you're squared away, you might shot all these deer or whatever, and when that big of an animal is 15 yards in front of you, pissing on himself, just angry as all get out, it is a crazy adrenaline rush. And you're trying to shoot like this, shaking like a leaf.
One day.
One day.
Are you guys putting in for the Kentucky elk?
I am not. I had a guy, one of our buddies, Chris, part of Old Breed Outdoors. He put in last year and got drawn.
Wow.
And he actually showed me the video. Had a full frontal on a bull at 20 yards and couldn't pull the trigger. Like you said, right, Dan? Like He's like,
Yep.
he's like, I can't tell you what happened. The next time I saw him, I ranged him at 40. He's like, I had him like, I don't know what happened. I got scared. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. He's like, yeah, I can't either. But here's the video. You can see me just go dead. Like the guy, he just goes dead. Like you just can't pull the trigger.
I did that on my first archery mule deer buck. It was a 20-yard shot, no wind, nothing between him and I was behind a tree. I watched him walk through. He stopped 20 yards, head down feeding. I mean, like perfect scenario, drew back. I sent that arrow probably 18 inches over his back. And he scampered off, and I turned around, and my dad was behind me, and he just does one of these, and I don't know. I lost it.
Blacked out there.
I can take that shot in my sleep on any day when it's into foam, but it was the biggest mule deer I'd ever seen at the time, and it was right in my sight housing and just fell apart.
Yeah,
it happens.
Yeah, it does. Or you're like me and you shoot and you just make a bad shot, and then you have to track a deer for a while. Then you got Todd telling you to buy a compound or a crossbow.
I did kind of have a similar situation with one of your guys' broadheads. We were pig hunting down in Texas, and I spot and stocked this pig. I shot it at 50 yards, and like normally a pretty easy shot for me. And I shot, and I had me and kind of three buddies. We were kind of walking through this buckbrush, kind of like on a pheasant drive kind of thing, seeing if we could jump up in the middle of the day. And I get this pig, I shoot. And same thing there. One of the guys was kind of behind me. He's like, what the heck? I'm like, dude, I don't know. I just missed. Like, I have no idea. And start kind of walking up towards there. And all of a sudden, like, I see my arrow sticking in the ground kind of behind where the pig was. And I'm like, oh, those flexions are covered in blood. I didn't miss. I punched right through that sucker. I was like, all right, we're working with something good here. I like what I got.
Good deal.
Like, it was so fast, so clean that I thought I missed. And then funny enough, one of my other buddies that was kind of around the corner, he comes walking up, and I'm like, dude, it was before I saw my arrow. I'm like, bro, I think I missed. And about that same time, I saw the arrow with blood on it. He's like, you didn't miss. And he like shows me his leg, and it's like got blood splatter on it. He's like, you stuck a pig, and it ran 3 feet in front of me, spraying blood everywhere. I had no idea what was going on.
Wow.
Oh, okay, cool. I guess we're working here.
Dude, that's awesome, man. I need to tell me which broadhead you were using, man, from VPA, because
that was the Omega.
That's my goal, man. So I'm moving to Texas. I'm actually looking at acreage right now, and my plan is to shoot all the hogs. It's super good at spot and stock for hogs, man.
Oh, it's a blast. That's probably one of I love elk hunting. I love deer hunting, but going down there and being able to kill as many as you want and get unlimited stocks on them, it's fun to be able to kind of test your equipment and test your own skills and stuff like that on them. I love it.
Yeah, and you can do it when you have time. You didn't have to be, you can only hunt them certain times of the year, or, Yeah, and like you said, no quotas on there. Like, I can only kill 1 buck in Kentucky, but I can go down and kill 20 hogs in a weekend if I really wanted to,
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So what do you guys got cooking on the other side of VPA and firearm space?
So the armory side for us is going to be compensators. They I think we're up to 22 different models. It's a compensator that gives you 30% mitigation. Also, it's 50 state legal. The cool thing is also it won't take it out of batteries, so it stops the gun from leaving battery position. 20 different models right now. That grows every month. We can't get them out fast enough. It's always that next one where it's like, hey, when are you gonna make that for the 17? When are you gonna have it for this one? When are you gonna have it? So we got most of the major ones done that we like to shoot. So we started there first. Proved it out with Langdon Tactical on Beretta with the rotating barrel on the PX4. Super slick. I love it. You can do light bearing, non-light bearing. Also, like with that you have that option of going carry, like concealed carry, then also like your holsters, right? They're all making them now. You just have to find the right one and be willing to like connect with the right guys, and we have them all listed on our website, which ones work, why they do work best. And it's been fun. I mean, I like to shoot anything. So whether it's a gun or a bow or a crossbow, like I'll shoot about anything, I guess. Like it doesn't really matter. Air rifles, those are getting super tricked out. I can spend time doing that too.
Yeah.
So that's the armory side of stuff. The outdoor, it's anybody like that's got an idea. We say that it's like any product, right? We like to be open to new ideas at the machine shop. Be willing to put in that space where it's kind of like, man, there's got to be stuff out there for dog training stuff, or like we partner with a bunch of people and have great ideas. So hopefully coming forward, that will move the needle too. So there's some stuff coming out that we like to see go to market.
Right on. It's awesome. Yeah. I've been looking at your compensators actually, because it actually solves a problem that I had in my previous profession. So I carried a Glock 19 for years, overseas, Iraq, Afghanistan, and other places. And you try to put a light on there, certain ammo, the Glock won't cycle once you put a light on that rail system that's built into the Glocks. And the way to get around that is to basically loosen the light, the Surefire light that we all got issued. Once you put it on there, if you have it on there securely and tight, certain ammo won't cycle through.
Yeah.
So you're out there, you're going to engage a target, you fire one round, and now you're out. You're going to tap rack and going again. And so I like that option, because the other one is if you just loosen it up, you'll cycle the round, but then your light's going to fall off after about 2 or 3 shots. And that's not good either,
Yep.
But yeah, I was looking at that.
Do you still have that X300 light?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I've got, if you want to pick up that light, like, and you still have your Glock 19, I'll send you a comp. That way you can mess around with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
We're actually in development for the rail mount on that right now. We've sent that to some guys. I've shot on the rail mount. I don't have the Glock 19. Sorry, I went more of the SIG route back in the day, so I'm kind of a stickler on my SIG a little bit. Not stickler. That's funny though. You talk about lights. That's something that my dad's former military, former state police, and like he cannot get past this whole light thing. Like he's like, they're gonna know where you're at, Ryan. Why are you putting lights on everything? That's so stupid. I'm like, Dad, it's different now. Like it's so different. Like it's not to like know where they're at. I want to see what I'm shooting at. He's like, okay. He's like, but like they'll know where you're at if they have a gun, right? I'm like, I got it. I'm like, I got it. He's like, okay, well, good.
You got to tell Dad, as I'm maneuvering through the house or wherever, the light's not on. The light goes on as I'm presenting, and I've got a target in front of me.
I've tried. He's just like, you're just gonna know where you're at. I'm like, okay. Okay.
Funny.
Yeah, it's fun with him. It's a good, because he gets that side of like, okay, when are you coming out with this one? I'm like, what do you need, Dad? He's like, what about the MMP? I'm like, okay, like, well, it'll be there. So we did the 2.0 for him. He's like, hey, like my buddies and I were talking about, like, what were they talking about? Is it the Taurus? I don't know. The S or I can't even remember them. There's so many of them that we have made. He's like, what about this one? The guys were thinking, I'm like, okay, Dad, we'll get that one coming too. It cracks me up.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of Taurus, one of our buddies on Hunt Lift Eats, a sales rep for us, and he hooked me up with one of their new micros. Dude, I can shoot that thing better than I can shoot my Glock 19. This little micro pistol, dude, double stack with the extended mag, 13 rounds, fits in a tiny little fanny pack, and I'm like, holy shit, like this is not the Taurus I remember.
Yeah. They have stepped up your game. You're right. Right. They have stepped up their game.
Yeah, we used some of their rifles last year. I think it was 308 and a 6.5 Creedmoor, and I was super impressed with, like Kerri said, like this is not the cheap Taurus that Pawpaw has in the dresser drawer. What
I was thinking more of inner city throwaway gun after a drive-by kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, that too. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Kind of circling back, I forgot to ask you a question. I played with, I think you guys had it at SHOT Show last year, your risers that you guys are building. Tell me more about those. Sorry to go back to the archery thing, but I just
yeah, that's fine. So the risers, we developed those like, man, I want to say like after broadheads back in 08, 09, those were like 11, 12 era when our head machinist said, "Hey, I've got an idea around a riser," and this was before Ryan, right? But I feel like this is something that even I have one sitting in my garage, because I was never a bow hunter before, but like they're a lot of fun to shoot. It takes me back to like 4-H, and when I remember like going somewhere and being like, "Oh, this is fun." So right now we have the 13-inch, 15-inch, and we're developing the 17 and 19 right now. ILF risers. There's some guys down at your shop that love those things, Kerri. Like I remember like sending them down there. I know some of those guys are shooting those things. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of those things that like traditional, yes, but you're adding ILF risers. The accuracy for me is not there. Like I can barely hit a pie plate like at 20 yards, and it's super frustrating to me, especially when the first thing I ever like worked on or figured out was a compound bow. And they have their space and they're really cool, but like when guys say like my shot is at like no more than 15 yards, I'm thinking, man, that's hunting, right? They're hunting close. Like they're tricked out in their stuff and what they do. It's a whole another game that traditional side is. They're crazy dudes.
Dude, it's fun though. I've actually broken my recurve out in a while, but I bought one as a retirement gift to myself, and then promised myself that I was going to get good at shooting it. It's been 3 years and I'm not good at shooting it, but it is fun, man. But it's fun / frustrating, right? You got there, you fling a few arrows, you're having fun, and after about 4 or 5 arrows of just completely missing the target, or groups this big, you're like, I'm getting kind of pissed off. But yeah, I was actually looking at your ads risers too, man, because I do want to get back into it, but I think I want to kind of cheat a little bit, right? Start adding like the springy rest and some of those other things to kind of make it a little less traditional.
Yeah.
Maybe get good at like kind of the intermediate level stuff before I go full blown trad.
For sure.
Todd, do you do any trad shooting, or are you strictly a compound guy?
No, you guys are dancing all over my goal this year. I'm gonna shoot a traditional deer this year. That's my goal. I have a recurve. I don't have a VPA riser special edition Ryan autographed one, but I'm gonna get one. And one of these days, he'll like me enough to give me some stuff. No, he's not to be a butt kiss, but I do appreciate Ryan and Jeff. I don't know your guys' experience with it, but they're pretty awesome guys. I'm very insanely generous. I mean, customer service second to none. I can't leave Alex out. Just the people at VPA are just awesome to have in the outdoor industry. So I want to give them a shout out there. But yeah, my goal this year is to kill a deer. Now I want to specify a deer with a recurve. So 2 years ago, I started on this journey of learning, going back, my family, my great grandfather was a full blooded Cherokee Indian. So we have a lot of Indian blood in our family. And so I got what I thought was relatively decent. I was confident enough that I could make an ethical shot. And I went out and I told my boys, I'm going to shoot a doe. That's the goal. And I had a no lie 155, 160, 10 point come right to me at 22 yards. And I pulled that recurve farther back than I've ever pulled a recurve back in my life. And sent that arrow about 7 inches above his back. Left and right was great. I just shot high, and then he bounced off and literally ate acorns for 40 minutes at 45 yards. And I just sat there. I'm like, so here's where my hypocrisy comes in, because I'm like, I am never recurve hunting again without a crossbow as a backup weapon. I'm carrying 2 weapons to the tree, and because that deer literally just stood there and mocked me, and I was just like, but I'll be honest with you, the two blade, the Omega, the VPAs on the end of a traditional arrow, it looks so beautiful. You're just like, I have to make this happen. So that's my goal this year. If it's a doe, I'm gonna be freaking stoked. To be real.
Yearling? Is a yearling in the pocket, like a yearling in there or not? No, just a doe.
Hey, I mean, I don't think I'm not quite a brown and down guy. I'm definitely one of the age. I'm an age snob. I like to see the deer grow up. So my goal would be just a big old fat matriarch. Doe would be my goal.
Here we go.
I took my recurve out once.
If I have a button bucket 2 yards, I might.
Yeah, I brought my recurve out one time on a hunt, and just like you, I had a deer come in 15. There's a doe, 15 yards. I did exact same thing you did, man. Shot about 7-8 inches right over the top of her back. I never went back out with my recurve. One of these days I'll do it again.
It's demoralizing.
It is.
Well, it's so much practice. Just to, like Ryan said, to be able to get a group. It takes so much time, and you just got to learn your anchor points and over. To go out and just completely fail is like, wow. I call it a poop sandwich. You just got to eat. Yeah. This is what it is. So just move on.
Yeah.
Archery hunting in general can be a poop sandwich depending on where you're at.
Oh yeah.
With any kind of bow in your hand.
Yeah, I always say it's archery hunting is one heartbreak after another, man. That's what archery is. But when it works, dude, kill a big deer with a rifle and it's great, but it's nothing like killing a deer, even if it's not as big of a deer, with a bow, So much more rewarding. But don't get me wrong, I'm primarily a bow hunter, but I kill with a rifle. So I hunt with my bow and then I go back out and kill with the rifle later on. It's kind of the way it works for me.
Hey, that was my introduction to Ryan Corkwell was a Western Kentucky deer hunt. And so this is my first trip. I hadn't even met Ryan yet. So I'm rolling up to camp and
my
it's
second year with a
VPA.
bow.
So I didn't even
second year with a bow.
I didn't even bring a gun. Like it was Kentucky's rifle season. I didn't even bring a gun. I'm like, Vantage Point Archery. I'm going to be one looking like, a freaking coward that can't, whatever. I didn't, you have all these things in your head, and we get there and first thing Jeff's like, did you bring a gun? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I didn't bring a gun. It's, it's bow season. I did bring a crossbow. More hypocrisy. I did bring a crossbow as backup. But Mr. VPA himself shoots a sweet deer with a rifle. I was like, time out. I didn't know we could use a gun. I thought we were archery people. No, he did. Ryan shot a stud on that trip.
Anything out, right? We couldn't get anything close. It's like,
no, dude, that was a tough. I agree. That was a tough hunt.
Talk about that hunt. Like that was terrible. We won't do that again, will we?
No, it was. No, we won't. I mean, I was in rifle setups with a compound bow, spending 6-8 hours in a tree going, what the frick am I doing right now? Like the deer were scared to death. They were educated. It was an interesting trip. I'll say that. It was fun. Hey, the best thing that come from it is I got to meet Ryan. That was awesome.
Correct.
So
we had a good
it was worth it. I drove to Kentucky to meet that guy.
All the way to Kentucky.
And we live 40 minutes apart.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, we do.
That's kind of the way it was for me when we were in Virginia last year. You could either hunt with a muzzleloader or a bow, and same thing as a bow guy. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm bringing my bow for sure. No doubt about it. I saw a lot of deer, and the reason I didn't shoot any because they were all at 80 to 100 yards, and we get there. Me being a Western guy, an 80-yard shot with the bow is normal. It's not out of the realm of possibility. And I said something about like, if one comes in, 65, 75 yards, it's dead. And Luke shook his head at me, kind of like Kerri just did, and he's like, "Dude, you don't understand. Them bows don't shoot fast enough to catch one of these suckers this time of year. They are tuned in, and it's not going to happen." And
you got to think, man. This is an animal that gets hunted 5 to 6 months out of the year.
Yeah,
they're on edge. Everything wants to kill them, and then we've got 5 months of flinging carbon or lead at them. Yeah, they're switched the fuck on, man.
For sure.
No joke. I was kind of like, that's one of the things I liked about kind of learning their movements and how they operate was, man, they don't just come out of the tree line willy-nilly like an elk or a mule deer do, man. They take their time. They see what's going on. They send the little ones out first, and then somebody else will come out, and I'm like, oh, okay, this I see what's going on here.
Yeah.
And they know what a blind looks like, or a tree that's been freshly cut for a shooting lane, because they sure as hell don't.
Yeah, dude.
They don't walk by those whenever I'm sitting in them.
Yeah, dude. You'll see them walk out, and there'll be like a ladder stand or something there. They'll look straight up at that ladder stand before they keep moving out, man. Mm-hmm. They know they're looking for the fat kid eating Little Debbie's up there, man.
I need that donut feeder. That's all we need.
Yeah.
We need that donut feeder. When something we did this year on our home farm that ended up being, and I don't know who the biologist is to give him credit, but what you guys are saying as far as a buck coming up to the edge or deer, and they'll survey that whole field. We have a 4-acre food plot, and we divided it. I put a like a plus sign of it was called Plot Screen. I think it's from Frigid Forage. I think that's a Bill Winke out of Iowa type food plot, but it grows 6 foot, 7 foot tall grass. But the biologist that I watched, it talks about basically when you divide that food plot up, a buck sees it as 4 different fields. And so we basically use that plot screen to limit their line of sight. And dude, it was incredible. Like the amount of bucks that we saw that would actually come into the food plot, A, because they wanted to see what was in there, but then B, just because they felt secure was incredible. But those educated deer, it's almost like you have to do something different to get a smart, you get a 4.5, 6-year-old deer that's been hunted, you have to do something, to trick him in that way. But that worked for us. I don't know if you guys are food plot guys or what you do, but that was a great trick and I think I just saw that video on Instagram. I'm like, that actually makes a lot of sense. And we did it this year, and it turned out.
Yeah, I don't have farmland to put a food plot myself, but I mean, I know guys that do. That's definitely something I'm gonna pass on because that sounds awesome. Hey man, have one field split into 4. They think it's 4 different fields.
Well, a buck spends an average of 4 to 6 minutes in a field total, and so if you bust it into 4, you're gonna get 4 to 6 minutes in each square. And so, it triples the amount of time that you have to get a shot on that deer. So,
hey, that's awesome. That's a great tip.
Makes a lot of sense.
I don't know if it'll work for your elk or mule deer out there, dude.
I don't think so. They probably be a little curious if I'm out there sitting a food plot. I want to kill an elk out of a tree saddle really bad. That's like my whitetail Western crossover is I want to sit water or a wallow or something and shoot a buck out of a saddle or a bull out of a saddle really bad.
Are you guys saddle guys or?
Saddles are for horses.
We use those in Wyoming too, so perfect.
They're tree diapers.
They're tree diapers.
I'm not a saddle guy. Honestly, I don't have any issues with guys using saddle, but I do think they're funny looking and they're not comfortable. But
Oh, they're funny looking, but I'm not carrying a saddle 12 miles into the backcountry.
Don't worry, we'll talk after this. I'll show you some better options.
Perfect.
You don't have to wear a diaper or shoot a crossbow.
I don't have anything against saddle guys at all. It's just that I don't know. Set up my first like climbing stand and loved it, and I haven't gone back to it. Right, I haven't and there's been guys approach me like, "Hey, you should try this out. Like, rep this. Like, put it on your site." Like, I'm like, I just can't get into it. I don't know why either. It looks cool. I see the YouTube videos. It looks fun, but like you said, like even you, Kerri, says it's like wearing a diaper. I don't know if I could get into that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not old. One of those things. I'm not old enough yet, right? Maybe I will.
No, I mean, dude, there are some absolute killers out there that use a saddle, man. And there's guys that definitely kill more deer than I do because I'm not that awesome of a deer hunter. I just try really hard. But it's just not for me, man. And they're just really easy to make fun of. Super easy to make fun of. You know?
Todd, do you run the saddle? I don't think so. Do you?
No, I'm straight. I don't. So I tried one in Oklahoma, and the selling point was that it's easy, it's quick, you can get up in any tree. I was sweating freaking bullets, dude. It was like all you got to do is you got one set of sticks. Yeah, but I got to get to that top, and I got to be flexible enough to reach down, not pop both my groin muscles out of place. Grab that next set, bring it up, and I'm old school. Give me a set of sticks with 2 chain ups that are comfortable, and that's just me. I'm just as mobile. I can hang that set and 10 minutes, 15 minutes and be ready to go. But I'm not anti the saddle, but Parker Stringer and I, we went around the ATA in Indy. Dude, I bet there were 12 different booths of saddles, different style, different size, different. And to me, they are very, very uncomfortable. That's just me. I've tried on 3 different ones. I got into the tree and maybe it's just I'm old school. It's hard to teach a dog new tricks, but I don't like facing the tree. It's definitely not my thing. I'm not, not everybody that uses a saddle is
Well,
hitting
you
for
can
the other
loop it
team, but I just
around,
figured
and
I'd throw
then
it.
you can go this way. Remember, you can loop it. There's a loop thing. I'm like, that looks cool. That looks
Yeah.
really cool. Like,
Yeah.
but then I was like,
Uh,
okay, you can see it 360, and
I
I'm
will.
like, go ahead.
Yeah, 360 on a platform No, but I will tell you the one good thing about this. I tried it one year. I had this band that goes up like mid back or upper back. They call it like a reclining band or something like that. So it's just to make it more comfortable, right? But I'm gonna tell you right now, man, when you're 20 feet in a tree and your stomach starts doing its thing and you got to take a shit, hanging off the back of that, you got the saddle, and then you still got that band up. You're still secure. You know what I mean? That is the one thing they have over a hang on.
Kerri's the only guy I know that would have that experience.
That was the bad decision of Taco Bell on his way to the tree stands. That's what that was.
Yeah. Well, boys, we are over an hour here, man.
Oh wow.
You guys, yeah. We talked a lot. You guys got any last minute things kind of wrap this up?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to Alex Mater. She's our marketing director. She does wonderful for us. Connect us all together on the emails and stuff. Make sure you guys email me, text me, just put it on that thread, Dan, like what you want to shoot, 125 left or right.
Yeah.
And I'll get some bleeders with Omega sent your way. Kerri, don't forget, I'll make sure that I get that Glock 19 rail mount. You're just gonna have to find you an X300 U-A, like my man. I'm not throwing one of those in there for you too.
No worries. I appreciate it.
So yeah, that way you can try it out. If I know that we're almost with the rail mount. If I can wait a little bit, maybe I'll send those to you. That way you can try the rail mount. Talk to some other guys that were in your line of work that they ran the 19s for a long time. They're like, hey, when's that rail mount coming?
Yeah.
Kind of the same age as you. They're in the private sector now, and they're like, I'm really excited for that. Yeah, the other thing is you can find us anywhere: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all the socials. It's just Vantage Point Archery.
Awesome, man.
Thanks so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, Todd, where can people find you, follow along with things that you guys are doing?
Yeah, I subscribed to your YouTube while we were sitting here.
Yeah, man. Chrysler Camo Outdoors, brand new. Just did season 1. Still in the process of recording season 2. Been a pastor since I was 19. Heavily involved in the recovery community. Took a veteran and a recovering addict on a hog hunt this last year. They got to kill their first animals ever. Just the goal is, how can I do something I love and change lives in the process? Which, in the outdoors is such a great place to do it, because it doesn't matter if you're out west, you get outdoorsmen together. We have something to talk about. We have common ground. And so, yeah, we're new. We're learning the filming thing. We're just going to be us. We're not trying to be, Drury Outdoors or Bone Collector. We're just, we're raw. Season 1, dude, my dad takes a record-breaking pee in the tent while turkeys gobble, and that's our top episode right now. I record him. He thought I turned the camera off, and we just kept it rolling. And so I do it with my dad, my brother, and my 2 boys. Jeff and Parker came on a couple episodes. So yeah, Chrysler Camo Outdoors, and we're gonna run with it and see what happens. But it'll be fun. Thanks for having us on, and obviously, shout out to all my VPA peeps. So.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out, man. I love what you're doing, dude. Because, dude, the outdoors and hunting itself, it's healing. Especially you're doing it for veterans, addicts, stuff like that, dude. It's super healing, man. So that's amazing. Definitely gonna be checking that out and following along. Dan, what you got, dude? You got anything to close us out with?
No, I appreciate you guys a lot. It's great to have you guys back on, and Todd, nice to meet you as well. And Ryan, as always, it's a pleasure to see you. We didn't get to SHOT Show this year, so I didn't get to run into you this year, but I appreciate you guys taking the time to come chat with us and like what you guys are doing.
Anytime. Thanks for having us.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, guys, thanks again. VPA Archery. Really cool conversation. If we screwed this up, blame Carter for leaving me unsupervised. Message us on the Hunt Lift Eat podcast page on Instagram and tell him bring Carter back and tell Kerri to stop talking. But as always, guys, we appreciate the hell out of you, and thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week.